Hey there, it's Anil here, and super excited about this topic, super important topic for your business and taking your business forward. So today I want to share with you a couple of things. I want to share with you some pitfalls that I find a lot of people make, a lot of businesses make when they think about this whole area of planning. And I want to really take you through the steps, the five key steps for you to focus on to improve the way you plan for your success and for your future in business. And I'll also be sharing with you some tools. So I'll just flick over to that. So as you know, I've given you my one-page planning tool to download. So that'll be either on this website page that you can download, or it will be in the comments if you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn. There's a link to the comment in the comments area as well. Okay, so click on that, have a look at this down the track. So I'll be taking you through this one-page planning document that I use with all of my clients. I have it myself, I use it for myself, and it really gives you everything you need in the one place for your business, both long-term, medium-term, and short-term. And I'll also be sharing with you this questionnaire, which I use with clients to really get them to review their business, where they want to be longer-term, some of their personal goals, business goals, what's working and what's not working in their business, some of the things that they're strong in, but also need to improve themselves personally. So I'll take you through this as well to give you a bit of an idea of the sorts of things I do with clients before we put the plan together. It's all about analyzing the business, understanding what's working, and then making sure we're focused on the right things in the plan. All right, so now, before I get started with the presentation, just want you to have a think about where you might be in these two areas. So obviously one is dollars, which you can see right here, and the other is freedom. And they're the two things that we really want to focus on moving or improving in our business. So we obviously want to look at making more money because we take lots of risks in our business, and we want to make sure it's all worth it. But also freedom, whether that's time, whether that's enjoyment, how do you measure more freedom in your business? And if you think about where you are right now and plot that on these two areas, so you might say, okay, well, I'm here right now, okay? And we obviously want to move towards the top right-hand side. We might want to move up to here. And if you look at where you are now, and draw a circle around that, there are probably things that you're doing, right now, and you'll need to do different things to move towards that, that better place, the more money, the more freedom scenario. So there's going to be things that you're doing here, both now and that you want to keep doing to help you move towards that top right-hand corner. But there's probably going to be things here that you need to stop doing. Things that probably helped you get to where you are, but they're not really going to help you get to where you want to go. And then there's obviously more things over here that you need to start doing. All right. So the whole planning process is designed to review where your business is, what you need to stop doing, what you need to keep doing, but also really get you focused on where you want to be longer term. And start doing the right things, put the right things on your plan to make sure that you are heading towards, those future goals. All right, so let's get into it. So before I go through, the pitfalls and the steps to get there, I really want to just share with you where this whole topic of planning fits into my business building model. Now, you may already know about the business building model I use. And I always tell people there are three parts to every business, and they're represented by those three columns, all right? These three columns here. So the first part of every business is getting the work in the door, okay? And the second part is getting the work done productively and effectively. And the last part is getting paid, getting organized, making sure the back office is working, all right? And what you'll see from this model is that there are three other areas that are broken down into each of these three columns. All right. So in total, there are 9 different areas that I focus on with my clients to help them develop their business for the long term. And planning fits into here. It's all about direction, knowing where you're heading, what the steps are to get there, but also, you're clear on it, but then you can then share that plan with others. All right. And that's what that one-page plan is all about. All right. So let's get into some of the common issues that I see people face when planning. The first is they make it way too complex. And I know you sometimes have to have a very detailed plan, especially if you're applying for bank funding or that type of thing, or looking at getting partners into your business. But most of the time when we do planning, people make it too complex and then they don't know where to start. And that's the second thing, it's where do I start? What are the steps I take? And because they don't know where to start, sometimes they don't start at all. And then, they're left just doing the day-to-day and not having a plan in place. And I always tell people that a plan is super important because we want to have a business by design rather than a business by default. Okay, so it's all about designing where you want your business to go. How does it fit into your future lifestyle that you want? Making sure you structure the business in the right way to help you achieve what you want out of life. And then the third thing that a lot of people have problems with is they might have a plan, but they never look at it. All right, so there's no point having a detailed plan that may be fantastic, but if it's not workable and you can't look, you don't look at it, you don't refer to it all the time, then it's really worthless. It might as well just be sitting in the bottom drawer or on the shelf and gathering dust. So when people make those mistakes, you basically stay where you are. You're trapped in the day-to-day, just running like this mouse. Busy, but really not making the progress that you want. And where we want to be instead is this KISS principle: keep it simple and succeed. I know a lot of people say keep it simple, stupid. I like to say keep it simple and succeed. All right. So it's not about a complex plan. It's about keeping the plan simple, the steps simple, the process simple, and then also the implementation process. Second is having a step-by-step approach. So knowing where to start, how to go about planning. And once you've done this a few times, it becomes a lot easier. I know when clients first kick off with planning and they've never done it before, it's a foreign concept. But once I take them through the steps, then it's all about teaching them and teaching you how to do this so that you don't need me to help you do it going forward. It's about just learning the steps, learning the process, and then being able to do this every 90 days. All right. So that's the process I follow with my clients. We have the long-term goals, but every 90 days, every quarter, we review the long-term goals and put a new plan in place. And once again, that one-page plan will help you with that structure. And lastly, the plan needs to be practical. It's as I said, you don't want it too complicated. You want to be able to use it. And I'll show you how you can refer to this plan every week to make sure that you are doing the things each week to make sure you're heading towards those longer term goals. So super practical. Now, I'm not a station wagon person, but if I was to have a station wagon, then this is probably it. Something that's practical, but also it performs. All right. So it's about doing it in style. And all of these things, once you put them in place, then it really will give you the foundation for growth. Now, you might be here, you see the big dogs out there in the marketplace, the big companies that you want to emulate. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't have any way to work towards those goals, then you'll, destined to be down here. Okay. All right. So hopefully that all makes sense so far. All right. So let's think about the 5 keys to better business planning. All right, the first is dare to dream. Now I'm going to explain why it's so important to dream. And I'll just flick back over to here. And just explain where dreaming fits into the whole planning process and why it's so important. We have dreams, we have goals, we have a plan, and then we take action. Okay. And it flows down from the dreams. So from your dreams, you set your goals, your plan, and then your action. So it all starts here. The bigger your dreams, then you're going, like if you have big dreams, then you're going to have bigger goals. You're going to have a plan that is different because it needs to achieve those bigger goals, and then you'll take different action because of that plan. All right. So what I really let me just unhide for a minute. So what I really want to impress on you is don't feel constrained about where you are right now. Okay. Unlock yourself from those either self-limiting beliefs or self-doubts that you have, and start thinking about the future. Just dream. Unlock yourself from your current situation and just try to think about things in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the track. Okay, so it can be difficult for a lot of people. Some people are automatic dreamers, and they probably think too much in the long term and not enough about how to get things done. Others are just focused on doing the right things by their clients and their customers, and not really too focused on the longer term. But I really do encourage you to step away from the constraints that you might have right now and just think about that bigger picture in the longer term. All right, so let's get back into this presentation. This is a fantastic quote from Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. And he says that whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. All right, so if you can think it, then you can achieve it. All right. So, and the more you can think about the bigger picture, the dreams, now that might come from, talking to the right people, reading the right books, being around the right people, reading magazines, even talking to your partner, your husband or your wife, whatever you want to do to think about, where you want to take things longer term, and not just your business, but your personal life as well. All right. Second, which sort of relates to this is, don't be afraid to fail. I know a lot of people don't set goals because they're afraid that they're not going to achieve those goals and that they'll feel let down. I really want you to remove that that belief or the potential of not trying because you don't want to fail. Everyone fails at things. We all make mistakes. If you do set goals, guaranteed you're not going to achieve all of them. But the whole idea is that if you set those goals, you may not get all the way there with all of them, but you're going to be a lot further ahead than if you didn't set any goals at all. Okay, so don't be afraid to put things down on paper, especially if you've got a way to break those. And I'll show you in a minute. Break those goals into steps to get there. Okay. Here are a couple of quick quotes about failure and trying. This one's from Michael Jordan. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. And another one from Henry Ford. Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. All right, it's all about learning from your mistakes, learning from your failures, learning from when things don't go right or you don't achieve those goals, but thinking about it, reflecting, and then moving forwards and achieving more because of it. All right, so the third thing I want to share with you is, breaking those goals down. And I want to share with you the 4 time zones of planning. So let me just draw this box here. Okay. So there are 4 key time zones. One is 3 years. Second is 12 months. And this all fits into my whole approach and the 1-page plan, which I'll take you through, and I'll take you through that in a bit of detail in a minute. 90 days is the third, and then 1 week. So what you need to do is think about the longer term first. So you start here, list down where you want things to be, how do you want things to look in 3 years' time, Then from here, you move to the 12 months. And once again, I'll show you this on my plan. Then you do the 90 days. You know, what are the key projects for the next 3 months? And then every week you review that, the 90-day plan, work out what you need to do this week to help you achieve those actions and goals for the 90 days. All right. So that's what I mean by breaking it down. And sometimes people don't set those goals because, you know, they have the bigger picture, but then there are no steps to get there. Okay. So it's all about breaking it down into those four time zones. The fourth thing is, you know, having the right implementation tools. And that's obviously where, you know, my plan comes in. And I'll, after I go through these 5 steps, I'll go into this plan in a bit more detail. But the plan's the implementation tool to get everything out of your head onto the one page. But then also, as I mentioned, it's about thinking, reviewing your business. So this questionnaire I use with all of my clients, I went through it a bit earlier in this prez. It talks about, you know, all of these strengths, weaknesses, you know, what are the products that you're currently serving, what sort of customers, which of those are current customers, future customers that you want, what your competitors are doing. So these are the sorts of things you need to think about when you want to review your current business, why it's doing what it's doing, you know, what are the issues, what are the frustrations, what are the challenges, also where you want to take it. And then you've got all of the thinking in place to put that plan in place. Now, in addition to this, this type of questionnaire, I also make sure that I look at all of my clients' financials. It's super important to understand the numbers. Let me just stop the press for a minute. Now, I'm an accountant by training, and that's why I always look at the numbers for my clients. Before I do any planning, when I first start with a client, I always look at their financials, their KPIs, their key performance indicators, any of those key stats that they keep, because the numbers don't lie generally. Sometimes I do question whether the numbers are accurate, and then I speak to the client's bookkeeper to get a better understanding of what some of the things may mean and what may need adjusting. But it's about looking at numbers in conjunction with the questionnaire, what's happening out there in the market, what the competitors are doing, but the financials paint a very, very important picture. All right, so that's the fourth, you know, having the implementation tools, the right methodology to review the business, but then do the planning. Now, the last thing, the last key I want to share with you is share the plan with other people. You know, it'll make it a lot more real if you share your goals. And even if you don't do a plan, even if you just have goals, sharing those goals and maybe even a timeline around those with other people makes it a lot more real. So obviously all of my clients, because we do the planning together and the goal setting, they share it with me. But I have a group program where people share their goals with each other on a weekly basis. We also get together every 90 days. I get all my clients together and we do this review of the longer term goals, put a new plan in place. But then everyone also shares what their key goals are over the next 90 days. So it's all about that community. So you don't need you may not need a coach for that. Obviously, I encourage you to have one, but you might just find another colleague that you can share your business with, and maybe you can do that together. But even your team, I find that if you've got your goals written down, you've got a plan in place, and you share it with your team, then that's some self-accountability there as well. Okay. All right, so let's go through the one-page plan in a bit of detail. I'll flick over here and open it up here. All right, so let me explain how this plan is structured. So first up, we have this area here, which is really the bigger picture, you know, the longer term, as I've got here, vision, 10-year target, what your mission or purpose is. Why does your business exist? What's it here to help others achieve? And then also your core values. What behaviors are important to you? What attitudes? Now, they're things that I don't even cover off with clients straight up. I show them how important it is, but I can understand that there's probably bigger priorities, more immediate things, and more pressing things that need focus. So it's something we work on bit by bit, but I can understand that it can take some time to develop. The second area is, this area here, which once again is bigger picture, but it talks about, who you want to target, where are they located, do you have a guarantee in place to reduce the risk or perceived risk of using your service or product? And very importantly, what are the 3 points of difference? Ideally, you'd have 3 things that no other competitors do. They may do 1 or 2 of those things, but no one should do all 3. All right, so have a think about that for your business. And then, as I said in my, in that breaking it down into those time zones, we start on the 3-year goals. What are your revenue goals? What are your profit goals in 3 years? What are the different specific goals? How do you want your business to look, whether it's your team, whether it's the types of customers, location, products. So it's a whole range of things, and also personal goals. Then we go through and work out the 12-month goals, once again, revenue and profit, and then specific things that you want to get done and you want your business to achieve by this time next year. And then the bottom half is the 90-day plan. So every 90 days, every 3 months, we review the top half of this plan, but then we put in place specific goals and projects for the next 90 days. Also, who's responsible for those? It doesn't have to be you, obviously. Even if you don't have team members, you can delegate some things to your bookkeeper or other consultants. So have a think about that. And then, what are the steps that you need to take each month for each of these projects to help you achieve that in the 3-month period? Okay, so you might find that one of the projects doesn't need work until starting on here. You don't have to do everything in month 1. All right, so download that. So once again, as I said, you can either download it straight from this page or from the link in the comments, and it's a simple tool. Keep it simple, as I said, and succeed, and you'll be much better for it. All right, so that's really all I wanted to cover off. Next steps for you is really download the 1-page planning worksheet. Now, on that website where this is recorded and you can download the worksheet, you'll also be able to book in for a free 15-minute brainstorming session. Now, happy to do that to review the stuff I've covered here, talk about your business, give you some immediate ideas on how you can improve things, whether it's growing your profitability or reducing frustrations that you have with your team, a whole range of things. So, but as that 3rd point says, I ideally work with established and growing businesses, and a lot of them are family businesses. As I've said here in my family-ish. So it doesn't have to be a family business, but a lot of my clients are family focused, even if they don't have multiple family members. And that just sort of aligns with my approach and my values. And then I can obviously help you with different options to implement these tools into your business. So so that's it from me. I want you to have a fantastic week ahead. Definitely reach out if you want a hand with anything, and I look forward to speaking with you all very soon. All the best. Bye.